Hello everybody, welcome to Indigo Tarot Odyssey. How is everybody? I want to show you my new coffee cup. I love it so much. I got so happy, and it says love is love. I'm like, yay. I saw it at the store today. I'm like, I need that coffee cup. I was in such a good mood. However, comment down below if it was 1,000 degrees where you live. I don't know what the heck happened on planet Earth. I think the ozone layer just melted and went into ooze, and just that's it. I was like, I think we got pushed closer to the sun today, because I think it ended up something like 98 degrees, and it was the craziest thing. So you step out your front door of your car, and it was like you walked into a dryer, and it was on tumble steam. It was crazy. It's one of those things where you will minimize any kind of trips getting in and out of your car because you just can't get back in that hot car. And warning, lipsticks and chocolate do melt in your car when it's that hot. So I was like, oh, I think I'll put on some lipstick, and it literally like just turned into gloss. It was the craziest thing. So you guys, today we're going to talk about passion and sustainability. This sustainability card flew out at me 100 miles an hour, and it meant so much to me because this is something I have to ask myself every day. Okay, what do we have passions for, right? I have so many weird creative interests, like everything. I love it. I love woodworking, painting, and beading, and oh my gosh, just everything, macrame, decoration. I love everything. If you saw my house, you'd literally think I was like a flea market slash upscale designer boutique. I literally have hundreds of pieces of jewelry that I make. I will make sometimes in an evening a dozen pieces. I will make like a dozen bracelets just sitting around and doing that. It gets rather expensive. I must say, and I want to show you guys something I just made too. I love this so much, and it came out so beautiful. So I'm stoked to show you. And it looks so beautiful when I went and I tried it on. I got a really good triple clip, and it's so summery and fun, and I was stoked about it. However, let's talk about sustainability in terms of all the things that we want to do, right? Cost. What resources do we have to connect into and pay out to have these? Are we being wise with our financial choices and not going overboard and hoarding? The reason that this really stuck out to me is because I am a little guilty of that. Whenever I am in, say, a Michael's or Joann's or a thing, I'm like, ooh, let me get some of this stuff. I like to have stuff at the ready. However, it's like a lot of it is impulse buys, and I'm like, you can, restructure some of the pieces you have and reuse those beads if you want to, things of that nature. But also, let's talk about sustainability when it comes to certain habits you have. This is really important also when it comes to like a diet and exercise regime. I never recommend those weird crash diets with like, it's not like intermittent fasting or anything like that, but I mean like those weird things where you only have cabbage soup for a week. All those weird things. Really ask yourself, are you doing anything to an extreme that does not, help you maintain long-term health and sustainability? If it's something that you wouldn't do long-term, I wouldn't try those things, those crash things. I know, I have friends that do that, and I get worried because they think, oh, well, I'll starve for 4 days. I won't have anything. And then my stomach will shrink, and then I'll eat less, like things of that nature. I'm like, So whatever passion is coming in, ask yourself, am I pacing myself? Am I being wise about this decision? Let me have a little bit of self-exploration. Why, as to I'm doing this in the first place, that sort of thing. I just love that word sustainability because it means wise, thorough, thought out blueprints of what we want to accomplish. That way also, you guys, we're not let down. It's not that cause and effect. I attempted and I failed because it was extreme, right? I've done this when it comes to exercise. I'm like, oh, hell yeah, I'm going to the gym every day, and I'll hit that like 90 minutes, 2 hours full tilt, and then I'm like, oh man, my next thought about going to the gym is remember how tired and like crazy that was? Because that's my last memory of being there, of trying to go flat out and go bonkers. Like, how about 20 minutes of a good pace, and then you can build from there. So let's ask ourselves about that. Okay, what can I do that I now feel a passion for, but I can sustain this, so I won't have that defeatist attitude because I tried to kill myself in one go, you know what I mean? So that kind of energy. And I want to pull a couple more because I just love these cards, and I think they give such beautiful messages. And something interesting happened right after the new moon, and that energy is still there 100%. And communication and past. How much do I love this Gemini moon? Because it is all about communication. It's about fun, flirty banter, having a good time with other people, feeling open. I feel this moon energy 100%. I feel really light and breezy in my communication with people. I feel really enthusiastic and really love fueled as well. Geminis, I swear, completely misunderstand in the zodiac, that they're supposed to be like split personality, hot, cold, hot, cold. I feel like they are so loving and so humorous and so amazing. Cherry, I believe you're a Gemini. They're awesome. Or maybe Scorpio. No, Gemini. You'll have to let me know. I'll have to ask you. But Gemini is, it is a beautiful duality in one kind of sign where you can be, flirty and fun and light, but yet you can be serious and you can be introspective, all of that. So this will help with this. Look to the past and how have you communicated to yourself and other people about anything, your wants and your needs, your boundaries, all of that. And this is also a time where we are going to let go. The way we communicate now, we are not going to have any of those strange like trauma or triggers that have happened in the past. So if we have people, because people are usually the cause of this, the last people that we've dealt with, if they were difficult, harming, just not nice people, then we know we have to deal with them, whether they are coworkers or other students or whatever it is. We can be triggered by things, but now we want to just go with a fresh line. Okay, let's like flatline it and say, I'm going to give this first person a fresh start, because I also will be in a headspace of a different perspective of hearing them. I won't be reactive. I won't be skeptical. I won't be turning it to my advantage, thinking they are doing something shifty when they might not be. When you just don't really love someone's vibe, you hear things differently than you might from somebody that you love. They could both say the same exact thing, but that person that we don't gel with that well, we are triggered by them, so we will think that there is ulterior motives and things like that. So I think it is important now we really listen when we communicate. That's part of it. Really listen with honesty and thoroughness so we can really see what people are trying to say. And also I love a healthy detachment. If somebody's not our vibe, I have just a healthy detachment. If I know I'm talking to someone that is utterly self-centered and everything is about them and they could care less and they couldn't remember anything that I said 2 minutes before that. I mean, I don't have a lot of people in my life like that because I just kind of let them fade out. It's one of my radars that really catches on to that, someone that's self-absorbed, that's a poor listener because they only care about where they're going and what they're doing. And it's unfortunate, but there are a few people out there, and I feel like a lot of you guys are also going to be able to notice that too. Even if, people, they're all different times. Sometimes if we're feeling a little more, our bandwidth is out, we can not be so highly attuned, and or if we're in a people-pleasing stage, because it just makes us feel good to, do things for others, but not to a point where it's to our detriment. We simply want to help and aid and do things for others. We can forget to see with that lens of, oh, their hand is always out and they are always like, gimme, 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 got that. And that can be in a myriad of ways where you are an agony aunt and they're constantly telling you all their problems, or they emotional dump on you without asking, hey, do you feel like in a headspace to listen to a couple of things I'm going through? So many people do not do that. They just, here's my wheelbarrow full of CRAP and let me just dump it on you, leave it with you, I feel better, and now I'll vacate and I'll leave all this crap with you. Like, we really need to stand our boundaries firm with people like that and say, listen, I'm very sensitive to other people's energy and what's going on. So when you bring, when you bring a whole bunch of emotional turbulence and you leave it at my doorstep, I sometimes don't know what to do with it and it affects me. So could you just ask if I'm in the headspace to receive that? And that's it, and weirdly enough, it's like one of my offspring taught me about that, because years ago when I'd come home working with very difficult people that were, they were on the verge of dangerous because there was a ton of narcissism, there were gaslighters, there was some craziness going on. This company I worked for, and I would come in the door and I'd just be so depleted and I'd be like, you will not believe what just happened, because some things would get actually dangerous. And just start sharing and without realizing it. And now it's one of those things where, we now don't want to incapacitate other people with things that we're trying to work through until we work through them, and also the other person has the headspace to receive. And I love that, because communication really is everything. We feel better when we are able to bounce things off each other. You know, that's what we're here for, to show love and compassion and unconditional support when we can for people that we love. So that's what you're meant to hear today, you guys. Love and light.